Y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling today? Hey yo, I hope y'all ready. I really hope y'all ready. Shout out Tizzy Tay. Tizzy Tay first on the list. Tizzy Tay came on like, yo, I'm so ready for this. Listen, y'all. Y'all know how we do the youth perspective town halls. And this is one of many, and one of the ones that I'm most excited about, yo, because it gives our young men an opportunity to really talk about their experiences. And if y'all know Dot and if y'all know Dan, y'all already know that they bringing the heat with the conversation. So I'm not your host. Don't get comfortable. I just have the honor of introducing these two young men to you guys and then allowing them to take over. And then y'all, I think we're going to have a special guest on here too. So, y'all make sure y'all show them all the love because it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of bravery to come on here with these type of stories and to be able to really dig in deep and to help other people be inspired and to learn from the mistakes that these young men have made. So I'm super excited for them to have this conversation. And y'all, remember I said we might have a special guest? I feel like that special guest might be here, so y'all might be in for a real treat, yo. So make sure y'all tell somebody to tell somebody if they want to have a real conversation tonight about making mistakes, learning from mistakes, and our young men being able to lift themselves up. Yo, they need to be here. So let me go ahead and get this thing started. Let's bring on our young men who are going to carry this situation, and then we got our special guest, Dot. Dan, what's up?
What's up? What's going on?
How you feeling?
Feeling real good. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to drop some jewels. I feel real good.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Hey, y'all special guests here. What y'all want to do? Y'all want to bring y'all special guests on right now? Get this thing
Yes.
started with y'all.
Yes.
Bring them in.
Bet, bet. Uncle T,
Man, what's happening, y'all? Can you hear me?
we can hear you. You sound
Can you
good.
hear
You
me?
look good. You glowing and all that.
Oh wow, no, y'all the one glowing. Y'all the one glowing. Y'all the future. Y'all the future. I'm just a voice from the past. That's all. I'm just a voice for the past and a voice that I believe that when adhered to, there's so many things that you can learn from it because it's packed with experience. But I want to hear from the young men before I go in.
Absolutely. So this is Dan and this is Dot. Y'all connected. I'm gonna let them do their thing, and I'm gone until the end of this. This is y'all situation today.
Hey, how you doing, Uncle T?
Man, I'm blessed and highly favored, young king.
Right. I'm blessed too. I'm Daniel Wise, man. I've been associated with Heart Smile since 2015. I just recently came home from my first major incarceration in 2021. I actually came home 46 days ago.
Wow.
Yes, I just came home from Hagerstown, medium max facility, uh, prison system. Uh, I did over 40 months in prison, and I'm just ready to share my knowledge, and hopefully I can turn some hearts away from the streets.
Mm. Well, I'm
How you
excited,
doing? See,
man.
my name.
I'm waiting to hear you drop it, man. And what you miss, I'm a time in on it.
Okay.
How you doing? See, my name Dion
Talk
Brandon.
to me.
I,
Talk to me. Drop it on them.
I'm 17 years old. I just came home 50 days ago from my first stuff. I was 16, turning 17. I got charged as adult for a handgun and drug trafficking for prison.
Is that a handgun?
And drug trafficking with a loaded firearm.
Okay. All right, come on, bring that
Pretty much.
noise. Y'all know what it is. Bring that
Pretty
noise.
much.
All
Let those that's connected hear from y'all.
We coming all facts, no fiction. NWAK, no woman, no kids.
right.
Mm.
My man Dan started that. Then you want to explain the NWAK? Hey, Dan.
Yeah, what you say? Your audio is messing up. But I'm gonna go ahead and go into my pad of the story, so everybody get a little caught up about what's going on. This is Prison of Purpose. I was incarcerated in 2017. I was arrested for attempted murder and robbery. I was looking at life plus 35 years. You know, by the grace of God, praise be to God. You know, my attorney, he got me a sufficient sentence of 15 years where I got the suspended sentence, and I did a prison term of 4 years, and I still got the 10 years on my head today. What I want everybody to understand is that prison made me the man that I am today. Prison made me who I am today because of the things that I experienced that I've never experienced, and it also showed me things that a lot of other people have not seen in this life, and they talk about it like they really with it, but they actually not really with it. I want to bring a lot of people. I want to bring a lot of people's attention to the fact that while I was incarcerated on a tier 90 men, it was at least 75 of them that were black, and I've been in 9 different institutions and over 36 different tiers. So if you do the statistics on that, that's overwhelmingly amount of black people who are the financial criminal system pillars, and they're actually funding the government, and they're actually selling their soul to these cells, to sit in these cells. But you know, a lot of people want to live by that G code. A lot of people want to live that gangster lifestyle. I'm here to tell you today, it is a facade. It is a facade. I'm here to tell you today that it's not a man that I met in prison for 60 years, 75 years of life fixed that don't have crime mothers, crime brothers and sisters, and would do anything to give their time back. Anything. Now you ask me, why is there so many people that's incarcerated that are black? Or why are we still getting arrested? It's their targets. They go after the poverty-stricken communities, and we also implement it on ourselves with the black crime, which is the highest ethnicity to commit crime against the same ethnicity. Black people commit crime on black people before they do any other race.
That's true.
And I just want people to understand this thing, man. I just really want to get people to understand this thing, that not everybody gets a last chance. Not everybody who go to prison, that first time go to prison, come home. Some people die in prison. Some people, man, a lot of things happen to you. You might not come back the same, lose an eye, lose a limb. A lot of people need to understand, man, the lifestyle that they live in is a facade. It's fraudulent. It's fraudulent. And I just came home 40 days ago, man, from off the compound. I'm telling you right now, man, that's not nowhere for any man to be. I don't care what you claim you is, a gorilla, a rat, whatever somebody say about anything. You know what I mean? I don't throw shade towards anybody. Nobody should be in prison. Not anybody, because we all human. And I want everybody to understand this too. I want everybody to understand this. When I was in prison, you get told when to eat. You get told when to sleep. When you're using the bathroom, you get up for that couch, you got to get up out the toilet, you got to show your face. A lot of people don't understand, man, this is real life. I was incarcerated during the COVID-19 pandemic. You want to know what happened when we was incarcerated? They shut the whole jail down. No phone calls. They put you to a shower Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You did on the weekend. People have lost their minds in prison, and it will never be the same. Prison has literally dismantled itself to where people in there killing each other. The same gang, they doing it to each other. These people, man, they playing dirty politics. So I want everybody to know, if you know somebody that's repping something or claiming something, that's contradictory to their paperwork, how they supposed to be living, morals, manners, values, and principles, and purpose. Ain't no black man supposed to be selling drugs right now, man. You holding our lineages back. You holding our generations back. You know somebody that's selling drugs right now, but you not telling them not to stop selling? Or you know somebody selling drugs and you just trying to play cool, you associated with them, you're not supposed to deal with them at all. Because they holding back your generation. They holding back your black people. Our value. We supposed to raise each other up, man. Black people need to take a stand. There's a lot of women and kids that are being killed in these street life and these things that they're not even involved in. You know? And people like to say, oh, names got no names. This, that, and the third. Hey, last time I checked, bullets still got certain numbers. Guns still got certain numbers. That shit come back to people. That shit haunt you. If you kill the wrong person, it's gonna haunt you. All the codes that people live by, these man-made manifestations, man, we need to throw it out the window, man. A lot of people need to understand, man, the G code was man-made. A lot of things that people stand on today are never man-made. But what did God say? A lot of people don't care about what God said. A lot of people are not in the religion. A lot of people don't trust the government. A lot of people don't trust anybody. They don't even trust their own family. So it takes the person within you. You need to ask yourself, do you want to change? Because when I went to prison, I had to learn the hard way. A hard head made a soft ass. Because best believe I was supposed to come home in 2019. Best believe I almost lost my life twice in prison. And I would never go back for anybody. And I mean that. This is my purpose. Raising awareness and telling black men and black beautiful women and all ethnicities, anybody, white, it don't matter what you is. It don't matter what you is, man. The life that you living, it is not making the money that it's supposed to be making, that the government is making off of what they doing to y'all, and y'all getting the little crumbs of the bread, and y'all think y'all doing something, man. You get clicked up, hop in the car with these, they making money, they selling drugs, they getting all these guns, then when y'all get hit with a RICO, everybody broke. The government is making that money tenfold off of what you guys are incriminating yourself in. The organizations, you can ask their net worth. Ask the Chris what they worth. Ask the Bloods what they worth. The government is making double that every single week. It's fraudulent. It's a facade. They've infiltrated everything in every organization that you can think about. Anything that they can comprehend, they already infiltrated. What they can't infiltrate is your bond with God. A lot of people need to understand that, man, but I'm going to let Doc go ahead because I was talking for a little while.
You could have kept going, but the one thing I can agree with him saying is, when I just came home, when I first got charged as adult, I got charged as adult. I went to Towson. I went to Towson Correctional Facility, Baltimore County. 65% of the race there was black. Another 20 was, what's the word I'm looking for? Hispanic. The rest was Caucasian. It's no way that all of those people there were black. When I went to my first bail review, they told me I couldn't go. I was a danger to the society. But right after that, I seen a white man. He went home off 2 murder charges. His own recon. He didn't go home on no home monitoring or nothing. So that kind of hurt me. Like, why couldn't I get that same chance he got? Same public defender, everything. Why couldn't I get that same chance he got? He got locked up last night too. They got evidence on him and everything. They sent him on his home recon. I got to stay there. I stayed at Towson for 2 months. After that, my mother got me a lawyer. They sent me to Hickey. They sent me to Charles H. Hickey School, Baltimore County Juvenile Detention Center. I went there. I sat there for another 6 months. I got waved back down to a juvenile. Once I got waved back down to a juvenile, they wanted me to do 18 months at a police. My lawyer told me that I didn't have to do that. It was a chance that, what's the word? it's a chance that I can go home, do everything I can gotta do, just make a positive outcome of my situation when I come home. Since I've been home 57 days. I got a job now. I'm doing this program. I'm in a program called Fresh Start. By October, I'm gonna be graduating high school.
Okay. Okay. That's nice. I like that. Okay. It's on me.
Yeah, I'm Uncle T. You can speak too.
I'm man. I just want y'all, because this generation needs to hear from people around their age. I'm gonna chime in with some real wisdom, but people need to know, people y'all age, man, what y'all have gone through, what y'all have witnessed, and what y'all have survived. But more importantly, what y'all have accumulated along y'all journey and y'all struggle. Because what happens is that it's certain people that other people can reach, right? In terms of being able to be relatable. Because there's so many stuff that you're saying. Like, let me ask both of y'all, how old are both of you?
23.
I'm 17.
23. But let me just say briefly, let me just give y'all something briefly on my life. I spent 25 years of my life in prison, which is older than both of y'all, you know what I mean? Y'all wasn't even born when I was in the system. But I do want to say this, that they say it is said that the lack of education is the pipeline to incarceration. And a lot of young men that get involved with the judicial system, for the most part, they have dropped out of school, they've given up on the educational system. They feel like there's nothing that your so-called European system can give to them that will give them the kind of alternatives that they would need to navigate through this maze. However, there was something you said, young man, that I want to build from, and that was that everything is a facade. I gotta. When I look back over my life, one of the things that constantly keep coming to me is the fact that I dropped out of school in the 5th grade. Never went back to public school. My life was just spent in the streets. So I went through prison like one go through school, literally. Age 13, Montrose Train School, Waxers, Boys Village. What I mean, on up until I hit the city jail, and then eventually I end up in the federal penitentiary for bank robberies. I'm saying all that to say this, that there's a mirage that is so real out here to the average young rapper, the average young guy on the corner. And this mirage is it is so enticing because it sends off the appearance as if your homeboy is your homeboy, your man is your man, all the way up until shit hit the fan. You dig what I'm saying? Because there's an old cliche that says that the one that say he loved you the most will oftentimes be the one that hurt you the worst, but they'll teach you the best if you can survive the blow. But many times y'all don't survive the blow simply because it's your man next to you to do it to you. So the thing is that whether you BGF, Crip, Blood, whatever, I am telling you this, it is not a game. All of it is truly what the young man say. It is a facade. When shit hit the fan, I didn't seen the killer. I mean, then killed something. I ain't talking about no one person, 2 people, 3 people. Then killed something, killed up a storm, but end up being like Sammy the Bull that told on John Gotti. You dig what I'm saying? So you really don't know what a man is made of until that pressure is applied to him. And when that pressure is applied to him, then and only then when you find up the making of a man, when that pressure is put on him. Because most people fail to realize, most young men that's out there breaking the law, like what's happening right now today, you got young men, I'm talking about in their teens, killing. I mean, killing up a storm in their teens, bro. Don't have a clue. Some of them never even been locked up before. I mean, haven't even been over baby bookings, over the jail, or nothing. So their first experience in the joint is in there for a murder. How in the hell are they able to understand even the rules that apply to you when you get in the joint? This knowing that they are in a brand new situation, because see, when you go in, You can't jump in your car and bend the bend on the T. You can't do that. You can't do that. You got to face the music. Whatever the music is, you got to face the music. And what's happening today, we are so fragmented. We are so discombobulated and separated from one another. This city, to be so small, is so separated in terms of each individual knowing who's who. I done seen cases where you go in the joint, man, a man come to realize that he hadn't killed his cousin, man, because so many people are isolated and don't know their family members anymore. Just because they live over west or live over east, some of them mothers and sisters had children where they are literally your first cousin and you didn't kill them. And so oftentimes I thought that I would never, one of the things, let me bring this up. One of the things that was so mind-boggling to me when I got a letter from my son that had Terry Williams writing Terry Williams. And the only thing that was different was our ID number. And it was then that thing hit me. And I said to myself, what the hell have I done? You have literally grandfathers, sons, grandfather who has a son and his son has a son, and all three of them are in prison. Sometimes the same prison. I didn't see when a father is in a cell with his son. I had a situation that I encountered when I was in Lewisburg Federal Penitentiary where the father and the son, both of them had the same name, and one of them told on the other. And when the first one came into the jail, everybody was thinking that it was him that told. So you know how they say, show your paperwork or whatever. Well, he showed his paperwork, come to find out it wasn't him. It was his father that told. And then his father came into the same jail. That's what's so crazy about this system. Sometimes they don't care if they put you in the same jail, but they know you done told on somebody or somebody done told on you. And they know that the moment y'all see one another, it's going to be a conflict. It's going to be a problem. Well, these two individuals, the father and the son, you had homies, man. Now listen, pay attention. You had homies that wanted the son to stab his father up. Just trying to factor that in your whole mind makeup, right? I can go on and give you stories after stories after stories, but that's not what's important. What's important is this. That prison life, man, that shit ain't for nobody. That's for people that just feel like they've been cornered and don't have no alternatives. These are prisoners for most individuals that realize that come to this idea in their mind that alternatives doesn't exist. When we know that alternatives are endless. But in our minds, we hook up with the wrong people, man. And when we hook up with them, we have no idea. Sometimes people think it's cool to hook up with a dude that you didn't know killed about 6, 7 people. And you think that shit slick hanging with him. When you know if you never kill, eventually, if you're hanging out with him, he's going to put you to the test. He's going to put that pickle in your hand. He's going to tell you do something with it. And you're going to feel obligated to do something because you decide that you want to be with this guy that took about 5, 6 people's lives. I had a situation when my son got murdered. See, I had to go and see my son with a hole in his head, and I end up preaching his funeral. I wouldn't let nobody else preach my son's funeral. And my son got caught up in the BGF and was taking people's lives, and it came back on him. And in that funeral home, you had about 500 BGF members. And I say, by the raising of hands, how many of y'all who fathers is not in y'all lives? And literally almost 400 guys threw their hands up. And I said, that's why my prince is in that casket, because I wasn't there for him. Y'all 2 young brothers, man, y'all is going to be blessed if y'all stay on this course, bro. Don't deviate. Please, for God's sake, don't deviate. Don't be on here saying this today, and then another young brother to hear you saying you learned your lessons, and they see you the following month or a year from now, and you done slipped up, man, and dropped the ball. Because it can happen when you're not committed to changing your life. I mean, like, this thing doesn't happen easily. It's a changing of the mind. And I'm talking about doing a 360. Where you have a lot of young brothers come home, fresh from coming home, saying I'm gonna do this and do that, and then run into these roadblocks, can't get no job, pressure get on them, and he resort back like the dog that returned to his vomit. I am telling y'all, young brothers, stick with Miss Joni, bro. Do what y'all have to do. Whatever you have to do, man, to maintain your liberty out here in these streets, do it, man. And continue to echo this cry that I'm hearing right now. And particularly the brother that's what, 25? The brother that this came home about 40-something days ago. What's your name again?
Daniel.
Hey, Daniel. Man, that's a powerful name in and of itself, man. Daniel and the Lion's Den. You done seen the lions, bro. You done seen God protect you around them lions, man. You done seen when God shut the mouth of the lion, bro. So listen, Daniel, that's just not a biblical text. This is reality, and you seen it. So all I'm saying to you, Daniel, and the other young king, man, stay the course, man. Win, lose, or draw. It's going to get bumpy along your journey, man. But what is greatness if it haven't been birthed out a lot of anguish and a lot of turmoil? For me, it took my son, my first son, right? For those that may know my other son, they call him Freaky. Y'all always probably see him with Moose, where he's in prison right now facing a federal sentence. My 3 sons is a pure a picture of how my life had unfolded. My first son, that should have been me, the way I was living. I got caught up in murders. I done got caught up in shootings and been shot. I mean, it was just a total mess. I had him when me and his mother AWOL from Montrose, and we had sex for the first time on a train while we done ran from the center. And I end up getting her pregnant. I birthed him out of pure madness. And me not being in his life when he was coming up, man, I really dropped the ball with my first one. So my first one, when he got murdered, that was me. That was my life where, though, I felt like I wasn't supposed to live past 18. The way I was living, I just knew I wasn't going to live past 18. I used to rock my son in my arm and let him hear my voice and let him see my face and let him touch my face, because I just knew that I may not be around to watch him grow up. And my second son, he exemplified that part of my life where he's right now going in and out the system. And my deepest prayer is that when he come home, ain't no OTM, ain't none of that shit like this. Excuse my expression, young kings and whoever's online, but bear with me, because I'm very passionate about this subject here. And I only pray that the lessons I'm giving them, because when you don't get the lesson, you become the lesson. Just that simple. When you don't get the lesson, you become the lesson. And so I'm telling him, I'm feeding them all the proper information. Read this book, read that book. You know, motivating and stimulating thoughts that would just encourage him and be his protector while he's there. See, words has power. And when you're in the joint, even books was my best friend. Even when I had to put them around me when I went into battle in them night fights. You know what I mean? A book is your best friend when you're in the joint, man. For those that become conscious of that. And my last son, now my first son supposed to have been me. I supposed to die. My second son, in and out of prison. My youngest son, my last son, he went, when I came home from the federal penitentiary in 2002, I was determined if I had any children, they was going to be the game changer. My son and my daughter, we kept them in private school. This what happens when a mother and father is in the house and working it out and raising their children in the way that they should go so that they won't depart. My son and my daughter stayed in private school. Right now, my son, he just graduated out of the Baltimore Schools for the Arts on his way to SCAD University. Know why? Because Pop was dead. I was dead. Whenever father's missing in action, a lot of things unfold in a lot of y'all young kings' lives, man. Because I was teaching my my mentees today in my program that father, the word father, it is not a name, but it's a title that's the result of a function. Hear me again. The word father, It is not a name. You don't get the right to say because you had a child that you that child father. Because father is not a name. It's a title. That's the result of a function. So being a father, y'all heard about the founding fathers of America. Y'all heard about the father of psychology, Sigmund Freud. Fathers are that which lay a foundation down. And they are the maintainers and the protectors and the nourishers and the cherisher of that which they create. When God the Father created the universe, he never created anything that he wasn't able to take care of. So that is the true definition of a father. If you're not operating in that position, then all you are is a sperm donor. And it's painful to have a father that is not there for his son. It was so painful to me that I end up losing mine. And my second one got a job, a little bit of me, but he got some good from me, but he probably got more bad than good. But right now I'm still working with him, right? But listen, young brothers, that prison life, my greatest desire is this be your last bus stop, bro. And that y'all don't go back in that system. Because sometimes God don't give you the blessing and the grace and the mercy that he gave you the first time. Y'all are on to something. This generation is going to listen to y'all. Y'all caught my attention where though I didn't even want to talk. Hold up, man. You know how blessing it is to be around to see my granddaughter, man. I never in my wildest imagination thought that I would live to see grandchildren after grandchildren. But God knew what he had allowed me to survive for such a time as this. To see your son with a hole in his damn head and preach his funeral and knowing that I can't explain it, bro. That's how deep it is, man. All I'm saying is know this for sure. That life out there, bro, in them streets, that shit is a mirage, bro. It's not what you think it is. And when you run up on it, you'll find yourself in a jail cell on the top bunk trying to figure out how in the hell did I get here. But it was the result of seeing a mirage, man. Something that appeared to have looked good. Y'all know what a mirage is. You're on a desert and you want something so bad that you start seeing it. That's how them brothers is out there on them blocks, man. They forcing themselves, they tricking themselves and believing that whatever it is that block appeared to be able to give them, they believe that they're going to find it on that block, only to come to realize, man, their greatest strength going to be tested when someone get killed and they right there to witness it and they get snatched up on it. And the same way what the young brother said about the RICO law, bro, black folk don't know nothing about no RICO law. That's something they came up with, man, because brothers up there talking about they organized. These young brothers ain't organized, man. That's what the mafioso, man, the Italians and the Sicilians, they crafted that whole RICO law for them, being extortions and the money laundering. We wasn't doing none of that. We don't know nothing about no real gangsters, bro, because black folk were not ever no gangsters, bro. We adopted that, or we imitated someone else. We are not the originators of that. That's why all that talk about keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Can't no black folk afford to let your enemies stay close to you. We don't abide by those rules. That's why the enemy always get killed in the distance. We don't even want the enemy by us. So I'm saying all that to say that, young bro, y'all are in a unique position, man. And Heart Smile, I'm telling you, Joni, bro, y'all have so much to offer what she's doing. And believe me, you hang in there. I don't care how difficult it gets. I know she gonna play her part, and I'm gonna pledge myself right now today to play my part in whatever I can play to help y'all young brothers out, man. And that's coming from my heart. I don't say anything out my mouth today that I know I can't stand by, because I know how essential it is that you back up your talk with your walk. So all I'm saying to y'all young brothers, man, keep giving that up, man. Keep giving up your pain, because it is through your pain that you set another man's free. Sometimes, like Jesus, God, that's why he showed the people his hands, his wounds, so they can realize that he felt that pain. And so y'all have y'all own individual wounds too. This being in the system is a wound. And y'all got to let this young generation know that that's bull crap, bro. There is nothing in which people make it up to be, man. I'm telling you, you can grow up with a guy all your life. And I had a guy that told on me when I was 40 years old. Man, him come up, been through so much. He could have told on me about anything. And he wait to get 40 years old to tell on me about some bull crap. Had me shaking in my boots because of what he knew of me. But this told on about some petty stuff. And I was thankful for that. But I'm just telling you, don't think because your man ain't do it the first time that he won't do it the second time. Or he stood up 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Every man has a breaking point, bro. Every man has a breaking point. And it's not until that fire is put under your feet that you will find out how strong you really are. That is why, and put this in your spirit, a soldier don't know his strength until he meet his greatest challenge. I don't care who he is. He'll never know his greatest strength until he faces his greatest challenge. That's my wife just came, and I had to give her some sugar, so pardon me, y'all. But listen, I'm telling you, I don't care what a man say to you out here in this world today. He could never say what he won't do until he put in that situation. That's why I had enough wisdom to bail out where I didn't have to worry about being put in that situation and seeing whether or not I would compromise or not. I already knew that there's a line for everyone in which they won't cross. So y'all are examples, living examples today to continue to perpetuate the change that y'all receive through y'all struggle. Just don't never give up, man. And I'll just end it in saying this, man. Remember, it's an old cliche that says that if you get your lessons, I said it earlier, you'll never have to worry about becoming the lesson. If you get the lesson, you'll never have to worry about becoming the lesson. And that's what's happening with a lot of young brothers and sisters today. You give them lessons, they don't get it, and you see them laying slumped somewhere on some cold, hard concrete or in a car because somebody done blew that wig off because they didn't get the lesson, you know, that someone gave them about avoiding certain individuals, staying away from certain individuals. And y'all young men, listen to y'all girls, man. Listen to your girlfriends, your mothers, your sisters, because a lot of them sisters, they knows best. When they tell you, I don't think he right, something up with him, don't try to argue with that. Believe that, because they got this gift that God gave them, where you can be so close to a person that you can't see what's going on. But if they tell you, nah, and y'all young men know how it is. You go to jail, you get on the phone, and you tell them like, man, I know I should have listened to you. $1 late, $1 short and a day late. And the inside looking out. Wish you would have gotten the lesson. Wish I could have, should have, would have. That's what they say, $1 short. I mean, a day late and $1 short. So again, man, spread that message that y'all had. Y'all was given that lesson for a reason. Continue to spread it, man.
All right. Hey, Dan, you remember we was talking about earlier when we were saying the #1 crime in the city right now is armed carjackings, right? If you go to any juvenile facility in Maryland, the #1 crime that everybody say they locked up for is armed carjackings. I don't know the persona that they want to put on from armed carjackings, whether they just want somebody to just see them like, oh, he stayed with a car, or y'all want to build a name for yourself, oh, he stayed with cars, or he robbed people. That stuff is not cool. It's not. Because y'all out here, y'all not just robbing men, y'all robbing women, mothers, kids. If you do that, imagine your mother getting robbed, somebody taking your mother car. How you going to feel? Now you're going to be ready to go to jail, kill somebody, do this and do that. It's not even worth it. Like, if you really think before you react most of the time, a lot of people wouldn't be in the predicament that I was in. Like my situation, if I would have just listened to my big brother Don, I would listen to my big brother, I swear I would have never got locked up. He told me, stop doing it, stop doing that. I wanted to be a hardhead. I kept doing what I wanted to do. I did not listen. My mother, she told me, stay in the house. I wait for my mother to turn her back on her and run out the back door just to go outside. Like, if I would just listen to the elders and the people who I knew really had my back, I would have never been in the situation that I was in.
Yeah.
And that another thing, I've been saying on Murder Ain't the Page Murder, I've been saying a lot of women and kids being killed out of here. Like in the past 2 months, I probably been saying probably about 15 women get killed, probably 10 kids. Like it's really sad because when did if everybody was so-called living by this G code, back in the day, it was no woman, no kids. That was the real G code back in the day. If you was going to do something to somebody, it was supposed to be no woman, no kids. When did everybody start killing women and killing kids? That's not where it's at. And now I'm thankful for Dan because Dan brought it to my attention. He's starting this new movement called NWAK, No Women and Kids. And I'll let him explain it to you from there.
And the whole understanding of NWAK is I had to understand NWA. Niggas with attitude. You see a lot of these guys over here, they blatant with it. Flashing their guns, flashing their money, shooting up the car, hit the kid, grandmothers. It's blatantly disrespectful. It's blatantly in your face. These people are walking around, they're literally demons. They're not gangsters, they're not thugs. They infiltrated that. They're demons being manipulated. The black race. Give black people, if Black Lives Matter, why are women being killed? Why are kids being hit? In 2017, my 13-year-old homegirl got shot 5 times. 5 times at 13 in Baltimore. How can you allow your city to demolish itself like this? It's dismantling itself. If you know anybody that lives by that by any means and they don't got no pics, you should not be fraternizing with that person. You should not be following these people, supporting their pages, promoting their stuff. Everybody that you know that, oh man, that guy, he kind of crazy. He might round kill my kid. He might do something to my family. Why you put money in these guys' pockets? Why are these guys the ones who was flashing all this money and they fresh? You need to stop dealing with these people, man. These people's on a one-way ticket to hell. And if you want to save your soul, if you want to save your life and your lineage, you need to understand that being a nigga with attitude is in the way. You want to be spiteful. You want to be disrespectful. Women don't want to get married. You want to have sex before wedlock. You want to be out here stealing, taking from people, robbing people, running in their houses. And then when you run in the house and you see somebody's grandmother in there and she go to try to call the police, you go and wear her, you in shoot the whole house up. Because you don't got no morals. You don't have no mind. If you know people like this, you need to get away from these people. You need to shun these people. Baltimore should be on an all-out public service announcement shunning all these people, all organizations. Any which way that you can stop their money, stop buying their drugs, all the things they selling drugs to people's mothers while they pregnant, man. I didn't see people sell drugs since I've been home for women that are pregnant. They gave drugs to young people as young as 12. He talking about he copping for his uncle. Whole time he dope sick. You don't understand what you're doing to the generations that are coming after you. You don't understand that it's a ripple effect of the deeds that you put forth on this earth. A lot of people don't understand, man. They building more prisons than they are building colleges. So they always gonna have a bed for you. Believe that. Believe it. And if
Hey, let me add to that, Young King. We know. You know, I used to be a big advocate in this going hard, talking to the killers, the shooters, and we can't negate or neglect that a lot of this stuff is systematic and diabolical. You know, you got people behind the scene that truly manipulate a lot of what we see going on today. A lot of our young brothers and sisters that's getting caught up, especially the end of that street life, bro. Like, they are hurting in ways in which we can't begin to imagine. Many of them are suffering from mental illness. You know, we starting to weigh in on that now. We even starting to have police officers, when they know they're dealing with a situation where a person is suffering from a mental illness and he may have a gun. Like, we exploring those areas right now. At one time, it didn't even matter. You dig what I'm saying? Till later on, after the person is deceased, police can kill someone or what have you. But for the most part, you know, we always heard hurting people hurt people. But not only do hurt people, but you can take a killer that will kill someone and cause that person, family members that have never killed, never contemplating about killing nowhere, now they contemplating and killing. So the killer is creating killers unknowingly. The pain that they are suffering with is, again, unimaginable. So that's why we got to really, like, in my program, we spell love Time. And they would say it's a time that Uncle T spends with us. I spend almost as much time with these kids than I do with my own wife. Because for one, I thank God that I have a wife to understand my purpose today. And sometimes I say, man, was this what I supposed to have done? Like with Paul not being married in the Bible, and his whole commitment was to God and to serve God. Like, I am so committed to the task of helping these young kids today. Is totally unbelievable. I had about 5 of them stay in my house last night. You know what I mean? And my wife said they can stay another night. I said, no, they can't. They're getting up out of here. But I be with them so much. And we became such a part of one another. It's like, literally, you got to hold these young people's hands today and walk them. You got to literally walk them. I had gotten fed up with dealing with a lot of young men when it came down to intervention. Intervention, for many of y'all that don't know, is when you intervene into young men's lives that have already been caught up in the system. For me, I dealt with that for a while, but it was this too much. It was too much, because it's hard to reprogram a man's mind when he's been really caught up. And so I made a switch in how I deal with the kids today. So I go straight with prevention. I'm straight prevention today. I get the kids before the other street guys get in their head, the other hurting people get in their head, the other hurting king, because they kings, but they're hurting kings. Y'all are warriors, but many of y'all are hurting warriors. You know what I mean? Y'all are soldiers, but many of y'all are bruised and broken soldiers. So the thing is that I spend most of my time today dealing with kids before other people get in their head. And you got to constantly, like, bombard them with sometimes the same thing. They say repetition is the mother of all learning. You should never get tired of telling a kid to live right. And sometimes you can tell them to live right, and you'll see them the next day doing the same thing. Don't let that discourage you. Continue to tell them. Don't believe or buy into, man, you wasting your time, or it going in one ear, coming out the other. No, the mind is too powerful to let anything come in and go out. It's getting in there, and it'll be a time in the season in which whatever you sowed in that person gonna come out, because whatever man sowed, that shall he reap. So remember that all flowers don't blossom at the same time. Some get it early, some get it late. The sad part is some never get it at all. Y'all two young men, I know when y'all was on that top bunk, it's some things that came to y'all, just like the young man just reiterated, saying that had he listened to his mother, had he listened to his brother. When you on that top bunk and you got a lot of time to think, you will hear a lot of stuff people used to tell you years ago that now coming true today. Because I had an auntie used to tell me, that I don't let her teach me from the heart, that the streets will teach me with a hard hand. And it wasn't until I was on that top bunk over the penitentiary that I realized I was sitting on that hard hand that she was talking about, because I didn't take in and let it grow inside of me of what she was trying to teach me from the heart. So young men, whoever's on this live right now and y'all listening, that Tuck Tony stuff, and for the young queens, stop messing with these young men that's hurting. I don't care how handsome he look, how tough he appeared to be. Stop messing with these young men that have problems. Many of them have mental illnesses. But y'all get so caught up into these guys. They nice looking, but they trouble. They're not bad. They're just trouble because they wasn't raised right. And so, again, that don't make them like a terrible person, an angry. They just people that's lost. They young men that's lost. So y'all young queens, I'm telling you, I have 2 stories I can't even tell Jody that two young ladies in her program shared some things with me. You dig what I'm saying? About some little boyfriends they was messing with. You dig what I'm saying? And it's so serious because there's certain people that will confine you, that they believe that it may be you the one that can help them get out of a situation. And I say that to say, young ladies, be careful who you messing with. And especially if you know you messing with a guy that then shot somebody and that then killed somebody, and they sit there and have that pillow talk with you and tell you what they done. That's the worst thing you can do, is listen to something like that, because now you part of it. You part of it. So much so that you can get in a situation where you say, I'm mad. You get to arguing with them and you'll say something like, something real stupid. Like, I hope your ass get locked up. Do you know what's going to go on in that young man's mind? Because he didn't know what he done told you. And now you more of a threat to him than a lover to him. Because he sat there and told you something and you listened to it, and then you turn around in your anger and say something like that to him. I hope your ass get locked up. I hope somebody tell on your ass. And know that they just told you this information. So young sister, if a young man begin to embark on a conversation like that with you about what they done to somebody, shut it down. Shut it down. You don't want to hear it, because when you hear it, you are drawn into a situation that you don't even know what the outcome could be. So young queens, be careful of that you're dealing with in Baltimore City today. Be extremely careful and very picky when it comes down to messing with these little young, handsome guys that y'all know is full of trouble. So I ended on that note.
All right. Thank you. I ain't had to cut you off. All right, last 3 points we want to make. Self-esteem, peer pressure, and the persona people put on. One, the self-esteem. Just because you feel as though you look like somebody play with you, or just because you don't got a fresh pair of clothes on, you don't got to go out here and rub and get it. 9 times out of 10, most of y'all old enough to go out here and get your job. There's nothing wrong with standing on the corner selling waters. If you stand out the way, you can go outside on the corner and sell waters. You can make, what, $80 a day? That's 2 cases of water. And if you get a busy corner to stand on, you can do that. The persona you put on. Your persona, everybody want to live this rock star lifestyle, this lifestyle where ain't nobody going to play with him, or somebody play with him, they going to kill him, or, oh, he got a gun, so don't play with him, and this and that. All that stuff is fraud. That stuff is not cool. Everybody got a gun. This is Baltimore City 2021. Everybody in the city pretty much got a gun now. And just because you think you're the hardest person out here, the hardest people out here, they going to, scared people is going to kill you just because they're scared of you. They're ready to get you out the way so they don't got to keep worrying about you thinking about doing something to them. That's one thing. The peer pressure. Just because your friend is out here, say your friend tell you he getting ready to go steal a car, you don't got to go, oh, yeah, bro, I want to go with you. No, that stuff not cool. If that's not what you living by, and that's not what you do on a day-to-day basis, and you're not doing it, you're just doing it for the fun of it, don't do it. Because that's not worth the, up to 10 years in jail that you can spend. At the age of 15 and almost, they can charge you as an adult. Once you get charged as an adult and you don't get weighed down, your life is pretty much over. There's nothing else you could possibly do. You want to add on that, Don?
Yeah, like I said, man, this new wisdom, new knowledge, NWAK, you know, we really got to put it into this, man. It is on you as a black person. It is almost your purpose to love your neighbor. And when I say that, I just don't mean black people. Everybody deserves the equal amount of affection that you give to everybody. Stop being racist. Stop being racist. They filled your mind up with all this social stuff, and now you racist. Don't be a hypocrite. You got to treat everybody the same. NWAK, nigga with attitude killer. You see people posted up? Look, hey man, no more women and kids. Can y'all at least agree to that? You know what I mean? We got to implement discipline. We have to reverse the damage, the characteristics, and the actual profile that we gave ourselves. We have to tell each other. It should be an all-out. This should be something. This is a national emergency, man. No more women and kids, man. Why are y'all still shooting kids? Why are y'all still robbing women, old ladies going to the store? This is her last $200. You only get $200 a month, and you taking all her money, man. This is what's going on in our city, man. This is what's going on, man. The broke robbing the poor. We run around here, we claiming we so real, we so gangster, and you being possessed by Satan himself. That's all I ask for y'all, man. No more women and kids, man. No more women and no more kids, man. He in the streets, leaving in the streets. That ain't got nothing to do with us. This is street etiquette cleanup. Morals, manners, values, principles, and purpose, man. No more women and kids. And WAK. Anything in WA, put a K on it. Y'all can call Ice Cube and them and tell them I said it. NWAK. No more women and kids, man. This nigga with attitude persona has turned out into something so evil, and this is crazy, man. I don't know how this turned into this. All these gang members running around, something that's supposed to be in a jail, they doing it to their own homeboys, man. They setting these homeboys up, man. Y'all need to please tell y'all kids, man. For real. Y'all need to let people know, man. The serious crisis going on with the black people. We need to tell each other, black on black crime is not right. Point blank, period. Everybody needs to know that. It's a real situation right now. There's a crisis going on in Baltimore City. It's a crisis. If you live in Maryland, it is upon you. It's your purpose. Your time in this generation right now. And you're in to pass it on. As a black person, you have a duty. It's a serious problem going on right now, man. A lot of people are dying to senseless murders and hype. Man-made manifestations. You worshiping money or you worshiping the oath? Which one is it? It's all in one and the same. Come on, man. All bets is off, man. All bets is off. I'm not with it no more. No more women and kids. You a nigga with attitude, you in the way. You ain't got no pics. You a kill his mother, you a kill his aunt. You in the way. You not a real nigga. If you kill somebody's mother and she had nothing to do with y'all beef, that's what you need to tell all your homeboys and tell them to tell their homeboys. Everybody that's tuning in, man, you know somebody banging? They worshiping another man in the grave. Oh, man.
All right, our time is up. Part 2 coming soon. Thank everybody for joining. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Uncle T. What would you like to say? Keep it moving. That's it for
Yeah,
today.
absolutely, man. So y'all young kings be blessed, man, and stay in touch, man. Both y'all stay in touch, man. I want to hear more from y'all in the future, man, for real. And Jody, I thank you for just galvanizing this whole thing and making it happen.
Yes, sir. How much longer we got?
It been an hour. I think we just leave. But I'm waiting on her to text back now and tell us what they did.
I mean, I can say a couple more things, man. I really want to bring a lot of attention to College for Dollars, man. A lot of people don't understand. It is people in prison that's been falsely accused. There's people in prison that's got mistaken identity. Don't always think just because you ride around doing a speed limit, you ain't ready to go to jail. Or you ain't about to lose your life, man. It's a real force out here, man. There's a lot of people doing the right thing. There's a lot of people that's being hypocrites. But College for Dollars, man, is a target audience. It's an audit. They have to lock this many amount of people up. They need to make this many convictions. It's the same thing in the judicial system and the criminal system out here in the real world.
All right, Uncle T, you want to drop the juke before we get off here?
I just, like I said, man, I think, I hope that a lot of our young brothers and sisters out here, man, come to know God, man, because we have gotten so far away from God, man, that a lot of the stuff that we see today is a result of us not knowing who we are and whose we are. So we got to get back, man, the plugging God into this equation, because we as humans, we can't get this right alone, man. We need God, man. That's at the end of the day conversation right there. We need God.
All right, we can just exit up. She said she's gonna come in right behind us.
Yes. God is the only one. God is the only one that can fix this.
Y'all, not do it. Did they not do it? Yo, we absolutely have to have a part 2, yo. Shout out to Dan, shout out to Dot, who organized the whole thing. They planned, hosted it, all that. And shout out to Uncle T, our amazing guest speaker. Just a powerful, amazing conversation. Yo, so much to think about, so much work to do. Like, for real, so much work to do. So y'all stay locked in with us, because we are definitely going to work on putting together a part 2, and we're going to keep this going. And we got to continue to have spaces like this, especially where our young men can come on and tell their stories and speak what's on their heart, and really create community around these issues that are important, not only just to Baltimore, but to cities like Baltimore. So thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. Thank y'all so much for showing them love. We are so looking forward to continuing this conversation and having other conversations that are important to young people. So y'all already know what time it is, y'all. If y'all rock with us on the regular, then you already know where to find us. And if you don't, yo, ask somebody. I'm out of here, though, yo. I see y'all next time.